You're welcome to the School of the Knowledge of God. This morning we had a little hold up, and that's why we are not able to take off at 10 a.m. exactly. But we have just started. Why not call somebody? Why not share the link to other people that might be part of the school but did not remember, so that you can get people alerted and reminded to come to school. We have been studying so many interesting things under the hindrances of God. The hindrances to God, or the hindrances that blocks human beings with dealing when it comes to God. The last time we saw how the counterfeit has a selfish intent. When we say the counterfeit has a selfish intent, what are we talking about? We are talking about the interrupter or the intruder, the devil who came in, had his own personal interests. And that is what the world has been running on till date. The personal interest is what the world has been running till date. And this is a problem to all of us. Today we are going to look at a new topic. That is, God stated his frustration with man. In other words, God is making it clear that man has frustrated me. You remember when God created man, it wasn't long God said he has regretted creating man. Why God? He said because his mind has been continuously been evil. Look at the weapons, the bombs, the missiles that man has created. To kill who? To kill his fellow man. Man's mind has been continuously been evil. And that is what God said. So today, if we are learning that it is the frustration man created for God, is what we are going to look at today, then it's interesting. Let me go straight into the syllabus and we'll see what God has for us. The syllabus I read. Let us examine the number one hindrance that God expressed before the arrival of Messiah. From the Old Testament, a statement of frustration issued by God himself to prophet Ezekiel. I sought for a man and found none. Ezekiel 22:30. This will be our number one hindrance as we commence our examination from instances from the Old Testament before we come to instances in the New Testament. And the Messiah's era, in the New Testament and the Messiah's era. Let us now take the first hindrance to be God sought for a man or a woman to stand in the gap and found none. That is the first hindrance. The question will be, why would God be looking for somebody and he can't find anyone? And we are billions on earth. Even Ezekiel, who God told him, couldn't tell God that, God, how about me? That will tell you that if we lack knowledge concerning how God wants to be dealt with, we can't even know when he is calling us. We can't even understand when he's talking to us. We can't even comprehend when he's telling us something else. Because Ezekiel didn't even know that he can be that person. That is why he couldn't even ask God, why? How about me? That tells you the limited knowledge Ezekiel has. But that is a prophet. If the whole prophet had limited knowledge, then how about you, the ordinary person? Zero. Your own self will be minus. Because the prophet didn't even have enough knowledge to be able to tell God that, God, how about me? Don't I qualify? Can't I be the one? It is possible also that Ezekiel did not know that God is looking for somebody and anybody can qualify. And I can tell you on and on and on and on. The reason why this has been a hindrance is because we have separated from God and our thinking, our everything has been distanced from him. So we do not understand him. We do not comprehend what he tells us. And that has been the difficult aspect. But thank God for the school of the knowledge of God, where you can be prepared, where you can be brought to the closest point with God, so that this time you and I can qualify. And that is the prayer we are looking forward to. That God will find you. God will find me. God will find any one of us in this modern time that has understood and that has studied to approve he or herself, so that God can use us. Let's look at the prayer point. The prayer stroke imagination. Lord, if you are looking for someone, find me, for I am ready and available for your use now. Very interesting prayer. That God, if you are looking for somebody, find me, find you, find us, so that we can be used for your purpose for the now. But the question is, do we qualify? The question is, can we qualify? The question is, are we ready to be used? These are all hindrances that befalls man and God. But I believe that our little sharing and teaching today would have impacted more insight and more understanding to your relationship with God. Beloved, share this to as many people as possible and let them also get what you have gotten today. Straightforward, we want to go to our second section of school lessons. Our second section of school lessons is nothing but leadership. Yes, leadership. And leadership, we have always expressed that it is based on 4 pillars or 4 principles. And those principles are simply effectiveness, competence, decency, and compassionateness. These are the 4 things that leadership must be based on, so that whatever we do, we will receive God's happiness or God's benefit. But what do we find today? Our leadership has been a mess. Look at us, recently celebrating 69 years of independence. 69 years of failure. In fact, we started very well. But the first leader himself had so many problems and mistakes. That is late Dr. Nkrumah. Even though he did well, even though today when we check what he is able to do, we can't even maintain it. Not to talk about build on it. So at least we will say he has done better or he has done well. But he could have done better than that. Because look at Singapore. Did you know that Luke and you looked at Dr. Nkrumah as his mentor? That means his boss, his hope, his leader. But what happened? When he visited Ghana, he was disappointed. Why? The mentor he had in mind was failing. And that is how we have failed. But at least he that failed did even better. How about those who came later? Wasn't the case. And today, we are 69 years with open gutters, with filth everywhere. We can't even manage common filth. Common filth that we can use to produce fertilizer. Common filth that we can use to produce energy. Common filth that we can use to do so many things. We can't even manage that common thing. One time I heard about an authority that refused for a company that is coming to take our refuse in Tema, so that people will not even pay for refuse. They will take it and produce energy. A so-called politician refused because he wanted a share. And the company said, no, we can't give you a share like that. We are not going to let it cost the country. We are even going to let the country benefit employment and make the country clean. But this man was so selfish. This is a criminal. He's a wicked person. He refused the company, and the company has to go to Burkina and did their project there. That is the kind of leadership we claim to have. Useless leadership. Leadership that frustrates the progress of the same country. Because they are not effective leadership. They are not decent leadership. They are not compassionate leadership. And they can never be competent leadership. Competence is the gateway of leadership success. If you don't have competence, your leadership, whether you like it or not, it will collapse or it will not bear fruit. That is why you can hear some of African leaders who have been in power over 40 years, but nothing is happening in the country. Uselessness. Because no competence. Competence is based on leadership, knowledge, leadership, excellency. Without leadership knowledge, you can never be competent. You will mess up the resources. Africa is the richest continent, but why are we poor? It is because we don't have leaders. We have people in leadership who don't have leadership capabilities. That is the problem of Africa. Today, Ghana needs 1.3 metric tons of tomatoes. We can only supply ourselves 35%. So 65% were depending on Burkina Faso. And now they have said, don't come for our tomatoes anymore. This is an opportunity for you listening to me to make success in tomatoes farming. This is a great door for you to go into tomatoes farming. Just 3 months, you will harvest and you will make money. I believe I have impacted something new in your leadership capabilities, your leadership potential. And I pray that you will listen to this video over and over. Share it to especially our politicians. And share it to the youth that want to go into politics, want to go into leadership. Share it to friends and relatives so that we can all upgrade ourselves in the place of leadership. Thank you so much. My name again is Peter Anamo. I'm a teacher in the School of the Knowledge of God. And I pray that you as a student, you will become one of the teachers very soon. God bless you. Let's take some questions if there are any.
How will you know that you're ready or qualified to do the will of God?
How will you know? That is why God himself has given you the chance that you should study and you should approve yourself. In other words, you should be able to study and be able to confirm by your own examination and qualification that yes, I qualify. God. Today, I beat my chest and tell heaven over and over that I can do what you have been waiting for somebody to do. Let me do it. Give me approval. Give me the go ahead and I will do it for you, Lord. Because all God wants you and I to do is to occupy, is to take over this world from the hands of the devil. That is all God is waiting to see you and I to do. And it will take you, because God has given us the chance. That study to approve yourself. I have studied. That's why I'm approving myself by teaching people in the School of the Knowledge of God. So that many people can qualify. So it is up to you. If you can qualify, you must know. That's why I always use mathematics as an example. Because mathematics, when you get the answer, it is the answer. Nobody can mark you down. That means mathematics builds people's capabilities to study to approve themselves. So I love mathematics because that is where I can pull more marks. Because no master can decide, I want to give him 30, I want to give him 40. No, if I get 80, you must give him an 80. Otherwise, you can go and challenge. So prove yourself by your own capabilities of studying and learning and asking questions, seeking, and you will find. Ask and you will be given. Search and you will find. Thank you so much. Next question, if there's any.
If God finds one or a few people, isn't it possible for him to use them?
So yes, which means if he has not done it yet, it means he has not found us. That means we are possibly not qualified yet. Maybe we are preparing to qualify, we are getting to qualify. Because why is he not letting us do it? Because the time has been long overdue. 2026 years. Maybe he has found me and he wants other people to add up and he's not getting those who will add up. Or maybe me that he has found, me too, I have some places I have not gotten it well. Maybe the way I want to do things, he doesn't like it, and I have to get to know and fix myself in order. I have told them in heaven over and over that as you use Joseph alone, use me alone, because it's not easy to get people. But I don't know why. Maybe me that I'm saying they should use me alone, I still do not qualify. I don't know. But I'm working hard to qualify. How about you? You to work hard to qualify. Let's work hard to qualify so that God cannot give an excuse. What I know about his program is that he used one person, Joseph, and the next time he used 4 people. And then when Jesus came, 12 people. So I don't know. Maybe he wants more people. I don't know. So let's work hard. God bless you. Now, that's the questions we have from outside. Any question in the class so that we can wind up? You know, we are still in mourning. Our Auntie Vic's husband that has passed away, we are still mourning her. And we are still mourning him with our sister Auntie Vic. So we want to go and sit with the mourning family. Yes, let me take the question.
So when God was dealing with Ezekiel,
yes,
he knew that he doesn't know. Or, he's ignorant of the fact that he's a man.
No. God might be dealing with Ezekiel, but Ezekiel did not permit him. Because God will not order Ezekiel, I'm looking for a man, come and be that man. No. He will give the opportunity by telling Ezekiel, I'm looking for somebody. And then expects Ezekiel to say, here am I, use me. Because of free will. Because of free will, God does not like to order people about. He likes to discuss with people. He likes to give people the free chance to think about what they must do, not for him to impose on them.
My question was, knowing that he did
No,
not know.
no, no. You can't conclude that Ezekiel did not know. We are kind of analyzing Ezekiel. That why didn't he tell God that how about me? That is my analyzation. Okay? But it doesn't mean Ezekiel was not qualified. It is possible Ezekiel was qualified, but God respected Ezekiel and wanted Ezekiel to decide. Okay? Just like Mary. God sent the angel to come and try Mary, even though Mary was the only one, but they didn't impose on Mary. They told Mary, this is what we want to do. And Mary said, let it be done unto me, the handmaid. Mary offered herself. Mary opened the gate. Mary accepted. But when it was Ezekiel, I have analyzed that. Ezekiel, why didn't you ask God? How about me? And God would have said, no, Ezekiel, you don't qualify. But Ezekiel didn't do that. So it is possible Ezekiel has qualified, but Ezekiel failed to allow himself to be used. So we don't say God knew Ezekiel didn't qualify. No, we cannot say that. We don't know. Okay? I am analyzing that why didn't Ezekiel say, how about me? So that God will say, you don't qualify. But Ezekiel went and recorded it and didn't do anything about it. When Jesus offered himself in heaven, God opened a door. He said, the people I'm going to create will fall, but if they fall, I'll need somebody to die. Nobody wanted to die. But the Son, Jesus said, Father, I will die. He offered himself. So that is what we should learn, that God always needs us to offer ourselves. Have I answered your question now? Okay. Now, next question, if there's any.
When you have wrestled,
There's a question. All right.
When you have wrestled with doubts in your spiritual journey, what spiritual resources help you?
Doubt is a sign of unbelief. So why are you struggling with doubt? That means you yourself, you are sick with unbelief. And without believing, God that cannot deal with you. So deal with your unbelief. You must believe or you must not believe. It's two things. And there is so much evidence of God's work that you cannot doubt. So I don't know why you should be struggling with belief or unbelief. No. You should decide. This one is not about what we should do for you. We can't even pray for you. Because it's a decision you must make that you believe. Look at religion. Falsehood, but people have decided to believe it. They have decided to believe. There are people in religion who are still asking God questions that God, this thing we are doing, is it right? And because they are asking, God reveal himself to them and tell them where you are is wrong. And they run away and go to where is right. So if you have unbelief, that's a big problem. Doubt, because doubt is an unbelief. May God help you. Yes, next question, if there's any.
Can humanity understand God based on what He said?
What?
He said.
Yes. Let me tell you, I am not boasting, with all humility. What we teach in the school of the knowledge of God, you can't find anywhere in the world. No theological school, no seminary, no Bible school can ever tell you what we tell you. If you want to go and check, go and do your homework. You are free. Go and do your homework, and you will come to realize that what Peter Anamo is teaching, you can't find any place. I'm telling you. That is why I am praying to get the money, and I will advertise to the world to come to Bible school proper Bible school, so that they will see that we were taught wrongly. Yes. So yes, what I'm teaching can let you get the right information. Yes. So that is all. We don't have any question again. Let's take some donations to support the bill of the school, since the school doesn't take school fees. So let's gather our support to support the bills of the school. So if you are here, bring your support. And those of you abroad, far off, you can send your support to 055-459-8076. If you're outside Ghana, plus 233-55-459-8076. Your support will support the bills of the school, the electricity, whatever we pay, and other things that we need to challenge with cost. And the Lord return 100-fold back to you. And then those of you who are always sending your support in school, we acknowledge it. Some of you do from America, some of you do from UK, and we appreciate it and we acknowledge, and may the Lord pay you back 100-fold. God bless you. My name again is Peter Anamo. Remember to share the video to as many people as possible. If you are new watching us today, please subscribe so that we can alert you the next school lessons, Saturdays and Sunday. Remember the time is 10 a.m. Tomorrow we'll have another lesson for the week. 10 a.m. we will teach more things. If you want a soft copy of the teaching material, let us know. When we examine you, we might give you a copy. God bless you. Bye-bye.